Oh, hi guys. It seems I am dropping frames. I'm not really sure why that is, because like I said, it is nice and bright outside today. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But we're gonna push ahead, no matter what, one way or another, to give you guys what you need. And honestly, what I've been waiting to talk about, because there's shit that I've wanted to talk about, but I can't because of embargo and all that good other shit. So. This is a new background for the Prophet and the Warlock. If you guys didn't know, you could actually scroll through all the different ones. But there's gonna be one for the Prophet and the Warlock. So, I thought it was a really cool background. Yeah, for sure. It was pretty cool. So there's definitely some shit I wanna talk about tonight for sure. I am gonna go ahead and start with the Cult of Sotek and talk about them a little bit more, just to let people filter in and stuff.
Oh yeah.
God, thank you for the follow. Just talk about them for a second. I realize that more people are probably going to filter in as we get closer to the rats. So we'll talk about the rats, and then I'll talk about as much as I know about Bretonia. Hey, congrats, Liz. Thank you for the tier 1. And then I'll talk about the Empire, because there's some shit going on there. There's always maybe things that kind of slip through the cracks that we're not aware of, that, even though we look at this shit, doesn't necessarily mean that we catch everything. So there may be still things on Wednesday when we inevitably get the patch notes then, as to what is actually going on in this DLC. They only give us a brief overview as to what exactly is going on, which is more or less a lot of public information in the first place. There's of course things we can look at, like the Empire and shit like that we figured out, but for the most part we generally know what you guys know outside of some details. So still waiting for the official patch notes and shit to tell us exactly what's going on and stuff. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and talk about Cult of Sotek.
We must preserve this.
So for those of you who are like, wait a minute, what about tic-tac-toe? Fun little fact, we don't actually have him. The reason why nobody is playing tic-tac-toe is because we don't have him. We'll get him all of us will get him Wednesday. I don't know why we can't, but we can't. So as much as I'd like to talk about tic-tac-toe tonight, it's not happening. So kind of weird, but that's why nobody's playing him. So where you guys wonder about that shit. So we'll all get to it. So let's talk about Tiny for a little bit. He does have the sacrifice offerings. We'll get into that a little bit. He does have increased upkeep for Saurus Infantry and Temple Guard until we complete stage 1 of the Prophecy of Sotek, which I'll explain. And then we have the Rite of Sotek, is far cheaper. We do get 10% physical resistance for Skinks and leadership when fighting in Skaven, and Untainted in the local province. He is very hard. He's very hard for a couple of things. I have played him a little bit off of stream, just to get a feel for what's going on and understand why. More or less, if you're playing as Skrulk, and Tiny is still limited to just Skinks, he may or may not be, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It is the AI, so who knows? He is incredibly susceptible to plague magic. We're probably gonna end up fighting a couple of plague priests and shit like that, and just pestilent breath alone obliterates half the unit. I mean, they are so paper thin. They're paper thin with a very low health. So having an all skink flavor to them is really bad. Honestly, I was hoping to see upkeep reduction for skinks in here, but of course we can't do that without it being very hard. So if it was just hard, he'd probably have upkeep reduction for skinks. Ironically enough, he doesn't. He gives physical resistance and leadership, which is nice, but his economy is garbage. So let's go ahead and talk about him for a little bit, and then we'll actually play a campaign of him. Skinks aren't that much better than before? Not really, no. You show the start location tab. I can after this. Remind me in a minute. Our Red Crested Skinks, I don't like them very much. They're fine. They're fine, but they're not great. Crazy Fox, thank you for the 11 months. Oh, Lord. Thank you. Can you show Brett's? Yes, I will. Unfortunately about Bretonia, though, I haven't really understand like exactly how to use the game. Thank you. How to actually use the vows. I haven't actually seen that yet. Thought of ancient salamander tic-tac-toe for fire bows, pterodons doing drive-bys with the same bows and hit and run. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, apparently my stream is still dying, and I don't know why. It's still there, but I don't know why. Give me a second. Don't know. No, it's not nerfy. They like 420 blaze it, yo. We should be fine. I don't know. It might be a Twitch server issue. Because honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. I have zero idea. Hi, CJ. Hang on while I figure this shit out. Well, that's a great way to kill the hype boner. Yeah, I think it's a Twitch thing. Well, but they could be connected to a different. They could be connected to a different Twitch server. Because there's like a bunch around the U.S. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I've got the internet speed, and I don't know why it's just shitting out every once in a while. Okay. Well, let's talk about it and try to power through and hope to God we don't drop more frames. Although that's probably going to happen anyway. Not really much I can do about it. Anyways.
As I was rowing my boat towards the shore, a small black bird stopped me from docking. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Those are some bad dad jokes, Nerd Rage. Those are some bad. Oh boy. All right. So let's talk about Tohinowin for a moment. Tohinowin, sorry. Tohinowin. First of all, you're like, oh man, he's gonna be a skink flavored lord. That's great. Yeah, it is great. Until you find out that his shit's locked till 12. I can actually show you where tic-tac-toe starts. Tic-tac-toe starts down here. But like I said, I can't look at him. So he starts somewhere in here. Hey, Klingon. Okay, so anyway, so his skink-flavored bonuses, besides, of course, the whole physical resistance and leadership against Skaven, are all locked behind 12. Both of these are locked behind 12. That's kind of shitty, honestly. On one, though, we get the armor for... I guess we talked about each of these in case. So he does get a horned one, a ripperdactyl, and an Engine of the Old Gods, which is really cool. I'm very interested to see how the Engine of the Old Gods is going to work out. Agility and protection of the old ones, of course. And that's quite literally his name. He does start as a Master of Beasts. So we get all those lovely things. So then starting at 12, you can pick up Fanatic and you pick up Promises of Reconstruction. It does not look like the two of them lock each other out. So we're okay. So he gets plus 12 melee attack and 10% physical resistance. The Prophecy of Eradication does give him bonus against infantry of 15 and weapon strength plus 10. This is going to matter a lot more when he's on the stag. Like when he's on the stag, he's going to be a nice monster. But before then, he's not the best. If you can see, I'm actually, hang on. Let me turn off my camera so that you guys can see his stats and shit. If you see, not the strongest fighter. 45 melee defense is okay. He's got decent weapon strength and stuff. He does have a lot of armor-piercing damage. But as you can see, 75 armor, 55 melee attack, 45 melee defense. Not the strongest there. He does start out with Fanatic, or does get Fanatic fairly quickly, and then, of course, bonus against infantry as well. Strength against any kind of chaos fights, anything like that. That's true, he does have Frenzy. You're right, he does have Frenzy. That's a good point to pick out. He also has the Focus Instincts. This is an AoE stop rampage, which is nice. Then, of course, he does start off with the Beast and stuff like that. He'd be like Mazzy until he gets Slank. He can actually go into melee more so than Mazdamundi can. A little bit differently. He does get Disciple of Sotek, which is an extra 20% plus 20 armor for Red Crested Skinks and Bastillodons, specifically the Arc of Sotek, and 8 melee defense for Red Crested Skinks. That's going to be necessary because that's, oof. Any special beast lore? No, it's all the same. It's all standard transformation. Gives the mana core, all that good stuff. Then you get Tide of Sotek, which gives leadership and melee attack for them as well. So this shit is going to be important. Bastillodon's getting armor. You're right, Nerfy. The most important part about that is it's specifically the Arc of Sotek units that get the armor, not any other Bastillodon. Not anyone else. Then Promises of Reconstruction. This, I think, is going to be incredibly necessary because you need that. You're going to need that public order in the Untainted. He's going to be in the heart of Luster, and we're surrounded by rats. We're going to need all this shit. We do get Sotek's Gifted, which gives him more power and less wins for Lore of Beasts, which is nice. He does get Casualty Replenishment for Red Crested Skinks and Bastillodons, and finally upkeep for Red Crested Skinks and Bastillodons. The problem is that I feel like after all of the upkeep and stuff like that, Red Crested Skinks are just still not going to compete with lizards, with actual Saurus. Actual Saurus are still just going to be so much better. These are going to be way cheaper. These are going to be like discount Saurus by the time all the upgrades are. So we're going to have like a cheaper army. But I'd still probably rather have Saurus. And then we have Enlightened, which gives us sacrificial offerings every turn, which is actually really strong. From playing it a little bit beforehand, I noticed that each time that you completed a battle, it seemed like a locked number of sacrifices. So it seems like just by fighting more battles, you get more sacrifices. Hi, Furious.
Make noise.
Make noise, baby. Thank you for the 4 months, man. Appreciate that. So, this is eventually going to be pretty important. Whereas normally I'd say this is dumb, but this is actually pretty important. Anyway, so that is his shit. So, sacrifice trigger from rebellions. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So it does appear like he's going to need these stuffs. An important thing to note when we talk about the line and stuff like that, there is obviously a lot of points locked in here with Salamanders and Skinks. This is something we're going to have to rush early because we're going to need that melee defense for Skinks. Like, really, really, really badly. Really, really, really badly. Let's see. You have Swift Rider, which now buffs Ripperdactyls. Beast Driver for Stags, Salamanders, and Bastillodons. And then, of course, you do have Feral Carnosaurs. He's like Croc, but focused on Skinks instead. A little bit, yeah. But, I mean, you can still play Croc-Gar instead. And then we give melee defense, leadership, missile resistance for Skinks. All that good shit. What's an ancient Stegodon? Or an ancient Salamander? All right, let me show you. We do start at Slanzupek. Slanzupek does not actually have anything really special other than your standard shit, Temple of the Mists, which I kind of, it's still just kind of meh about. If we come under a lot of sieges, that might be okay, but I've always felt that Temple of the Mists is kind of silly. Guys, we're talking about everything that's new in the DLC. I'll be showing off the new Ratmen next, so it's all right. Just relax. Just relax. we'll get to the rats soon. As you can see, so there's that. We do get ancient salamanders at tier 4 now. That's some good damage, actually. That's some good damage. They are short ranged. Are the pterodons useful to Tic Tacs buffs? Or are they still outclassed by getting better units like Rippers or a front line of Saurus and just use Rippers to handle? I actually don't have the DLC for Tic Tac Toe, and as far as I know, nobody does. So because of that, no, I do not. I don't know. I will know Wednesday. I will know Wednesday with the rest of you guys. So this is the Ancient Salamander stat points. Not bad. Overall, not bad. Not bad. I'm curious to see how they work in melee, though. Because that might be the big thing. You notice their health? Not the highest. Compare that with, your big tanky boys. Even Carnosaurs have 1,500 more health than they do. So it'll be interesting to see. They are a tier 4 unit. And they don't require any extra buildings, which is pretty cool. So being able to get monsters in a tier 4 building and without needing to build a secondary building is kind of cool. So, but I have no idea exactly how they work because I haven't actually seen them at all. They are pretty fucking fast though. 75 speed for a monster seems pretty nice. That's pretty absurd. To put that in comparison, I believe the salamander hunting packs, yeah, they're only 70. And these guys are actually like short and fast. So an ancient salamander might be like a monstrous calf. It'll be kind of interesting to see exactly how they are. But I won't know that until later. So we will see. So there's those stat points. Real quick, let's go ahead and go and look at the red-crested skinks. These are your red-crested skinks, who of course do have frenzy. Oops, wrong thing. Is that anti-infantry on the babies? It's anti-large on the babies. Anti-large. I'll talk about them in a second here. Here are your stats for the red-crested skinks. As you can see, not good. 19 melee defense. They do have a good charge bonus. So these guys are going to be hardcore flankers. I think we're probably going to be running with a front line of skinks to kind of tank, as well as, skinks are going to tank. But 26 melee attack, not good. Not good. They also have really low health. They do get poison attacks, which is nice, and they do get armor-piercing damage. So they are a source of early-game armor-piercing damage. But that's kind of it. So, there's your red-crested skinks. 120 models is nice, but the regular skinks have 160. 67 health per skink is not bad. The problem is that they have very tight formations. They have very tight formations, and that very tight formation means they're incredibly susceptible to archer fire, artillery, magic, etc. Tinywan's insane buffs. We already talked about Tinywan's insane buffs. Those aren't really insane buffs. Because if you look at it, like, so Tinywan can buff them with his Lord for 8, and then he gives his own unit 8. So that gives them, what, 35 melee defense? So Empire's worse than Empire Swordsman. Granted, they're going to deal more damage than Empire Swordsman, but that's the most DPS or the most shit you're going to have tonight, or you're going to have. Their melee attack's going to be a little bit better on the charge, but they not going to be the strongest. Not going to be the strongest. So there's your red-crested skinks. Salamander hunting packs with a bonus against large for their missile shot. Upkeep on Saurus shields. Saurus shields are like 300. 200? Question mark? That doesn't feel right. Unless they got nerfed, which is possible. Should be like 300. I'll have to look at that. Anyway, so salamanders. What are best, Saurus shields or Saurus pike dudes with shields? It depends. Are you talking about Temple Guard? Talking about Temple Guard, like Temple Guard are better, but they're more expensive. The increased upkeep shouldn't apply until we actually try to recruit them. When we try to recruit them, the Saurus upkeep is going to show as being much worse. So there are your salamander stats. I have seen the shots from the salamander packs. The salamander shots look like AoE grenades, which is kind of nice. What's the point of an explosion when it's anti-large? I mean, it's the same thing for Globadiers. Globadiers have explosive too. With anti-large, all that good shit. I was playing around with salamanders. They're actually not a bad unit. They're kind of interesting. They do suck in melee, though. So, don't put them in melee. You can charge with them, but, they're not going to be cav. They're a very interesting unit. Very interesting unit. Okay, so I showed off ancient salamanders. No shield, boys. Later on, Ketemono. Later on. Here are your stats for Ripperdactyls. Yeah, I like their ranged attack, actually. There are your Ripperdactyls. Ripperdactyls with 10 models. 10 models. 22 melee defense. They're going to hit hard on the charge. But you got to get them boys out fast. 300 upkeep seems a little extreme. Nope, it's 32 salamanders. Yeah, 22 melee defense is not good. On a tier 4 unit, 10 models, these guys are going to get eaten alive really quickly. So like Pegasus have more models. Yeah. So I think Ripperdactyls are not going to be a very strong unit. 52 charge is nice. They're going to hit, like I said, they're going to hit hard on the charge. But only 10 models does not make them very strong. 12 would at least make them a little bit better. I will try out Ripperdactyls at some point. But I do not have high hopes for them. I do not have high hopes for them. Especially that upkeep, man. Having like, I don't know, 200 upkeep would make it better. Seems like they're meant to charge archers and artillery. It's true. But, the moment that any kind of response comes out, they're dead. Like, that's the problem with Ripperdactyls. Are they going to be specific? Yes. They're going to be pretty specific because they're going to be looking for a specific target of artillery and archers and shit like that. However, given any amount of resistance, they're going to die. So, there are your Ripperdactyl stats. I don't know what Tic-Tac-Toe could potentially give them. Yeah, that's the big thing, is that they're pretty susceptible. By the way, also with the changes, that makes Pterodons a tier 4 unit now, too. Does it feel like he's the Ungrim with Skinks the Warhammer campaign? at least Ungrim Slayers are cheaper. Pterodons are tier 4 now. Yep. They at least don't require a secondary building anymore, but they're hardcore tier 4 now. So, not looking good. Not looking good. Yeah, non-bolas, you're right. You're right. Regular Pterodons are tier 3. And then the bolas are tier 4. The upkeep on red-crested skinks is 120? No, 137. They at least have missile resistance. Rippers have a missile resistance of 15. And then Pterodons with Fire Leech get 15. Not that great. I did get the DLC. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Weapon Crafters Commune, of course. We're going to have the Arc of Sotek, which we'll actually be able to show off in combat because 10E1 starts with one. He is the Bastillodon. Not much to say there. Bastillodon, incredible amounts of melee defense. Bonus against infantry at 15, so he's actually not too bad in melee. It looks like the Pterodons are just doubled down on. Like I don't think they buffed them very much at all. That might change with tic-tac-toe, but don't know yet. Yeah, this is the nuke that they have. The Arc of Sotek itself only does minor damage. It's basically an AoE poison. It is CD based. It is not charge based, which is nice. Get up to 50 melee defense? Where are you getting that shit from? They start with 19. Rank 9s, I guess? What? Rank 9 plus the 16 melee defense? Poison can be useful, but we're going to be fighting rats for the most. See you, Requiem. Yeah, that's what I thought, Klingon. Where are you getting the 21 from? Oh, you're getting from the 7. Okay. So after they're fully buffed, after you get every single buff in the entire game for Red Crested Skinks, they have 50 melee defense. Hi, Rubio. So after you get every single buff possible for Red Crested Skinks, they get 50 melee defense. You get Bastillodons, which are still the same. I wonder if they're still limited. Oh, they're down to 7. That's right. I don't know if anybody's talked about this, but you do have patrols. This is giving an idea of what is going on with Undercities. It's something, but all of that shit is not going to be, you know, it's still not going to be stuff that they're going to get access to for a very long time because they have to be rank 7. This is the 8 turns right here to build the reclaimed tunnels. This is how you find Undercities. Takes 8 turns to finish this. So just don't get Undercities, forehead. I have no idea how reclaimed tunnels are. Or not they're going to do. New support. That's right. I forgot about the Ancient of the Gods. So there are your Ancient of the Gods stats. Which is more expensive, actually? Him or the Ancient? The same price. Hell yeah. Ancient seems to be a support unit. So you give constant empowered wins, which is always good. He gives 5% ward save to everything in a 40-yard range around him. Then, of course, he has Burning Alignment. If you guys have seen this shit, it's pretty good. It says moderate, but I think that thing's going to be a lot stronger. 140 armor? Dude, it's always had 140 armor. Things have always had 140 armor. Remember, it is giving itself 5% ward save as well. I think that one Engine of the Gods is going to be always key for melee comps. I think one Ancient Stag with Engine, and then the other 2 could be regular Ancient Stag. Would be nice. Thank you, Nerd Rage. I think you're always going to want to pack one of these boys for your stag, for your infantry blocks. You only run with one? I always run with like 3. They're expensive, but they get the job done. There have been so many battles that have been won on the backs of giant ass dinosaurs. Yeah, they're expensive, but they're also not a whole lot beats them. That's what's nice. All right, so basically an ancient stag profile with a couple of changes, but overall pretty good. I like Carnos too. I pack Carnos too. Okay. So those are those changes. First of all, the prophecy of Sotek is broken up into 3 parts. The first part is that we need to own 2 provinces, which, if you notice, we are a 4-slot province, surrounded by other 4-slot and tainted areas. So this is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. And then we also need to perform 5 rituals of sacrifice. And the current effect is going to be the 200% upkeep for Saurus Infantry and Temple Guard. The shitty part about this is we can't actually see what the other stats are until we actually get to them. So, you do at least start with 200 sacrifices. I know that people have seen what Stage 2 is. Stage 2, I believe, is going to be a global war against all Skaven and bonus diplomacy with all Lizardmen factions. Tinowan's last mount, Tinowan's last mount is an engine of the gods. Engine of the old gods. What was this? Right, the upkeep. Okay. So his rights do change a little bit. He gets the right of Sotek, which is far cheaper. This is a little bit different now. It gives you melee attack for skink units, weapon strength, missile damage, ambush success, and attrition. This thing's going to be pretty nice. Only 10 turn downtime to be having this stuff come on. So this is going to be something that's pretty nice. Yeah. I think this is going to be a must spam fairly frequently for them. We do get Rite of Primeval Glory still, which is cool. Obviously, Mage Priest and the Rite of Ferocity, all that good stuff. But the Rite of Sotek overall looks much better. No, it's going to be only Ferals. Feral Carnosaur, Feral Stags, and Feral Bastiodons. It's always ever been just feral shit. It's never been trained. So, Rite of Sotek is much cheaper, though. So this is actually pretty viable to be spammed. Which is nice, because our economy is actually pretty garbage. On to the actual sacrifices of Sotek. I'll show you guys in a minute the Forbidden Workshop. The Forbidden Workshop is much stronger than this shit. Each of these, what it appears, and I'm not sure, but I'd like to see. Oh, they are repeatable. Oh, okay, that's what it is. All right. So, the first one is +10 armor for all units, which is meh. You get +5 leadership for all skink units, which is pretty meh. Jungle Swarms. Jungle Swarms is the Poison Vortex. It's basically the same as the Arc of Sotek, but just not as good. Casualty replenishment +15%. This is pretty poggers right here. 150 sacrifices unlocked immediately is pretty strong. So this one's actually a pretty solid sacrifice to be popping. You get slaves after battles? Yes. Yes, you do. It is castable anywhere. You're right. It is castable anywhere. Their sacrifices are basically DE slaves? Yes. However, it's not like Dark Elf slaves where it's percentile based. These, every time that I've done it so far, it appears that it is in 50 increments. I don't know that for sure yet, though. And then you do end up getting the Cohort of Sotek, which is Red Crested Skinks right off the bat. It's a regiment of renown you can recruit immediately. Obviously, a little bit better stats because they're going to have the veterancy there. And then they also refuse to die. They can be reduced to 1 health per, but they cannot lose models. I'd be good to abuse rebels. It would be if you could reliably do it. Aquatic means that they don't get any penalties for moving through water terrain. You get the Legion of Shock. By the way, these are all locked specifically for him. the Legion of Shakwa and the other Red Crested Skinks and any other regiments of renown that are in here, these are unique to him. I'm pretty sure. I should probably double check that just to make sure. I'll double check that to make sure. But you don't sacrifice the Sotek as the other factions, I don't believe. So, yeah. Then, so basically what's going to happen is as we complete... Oh, they get the RRs normally? Okay. So you complete each tier until you eventually get to the Great Sacrifice of Sotek. So we're going to start off with getting a random random banner. Bleh. Random follower. Bleh. Global recruitment for all units, which is okay. You get pterodons. And then the Cold One Spear Riders. I assume the RR is not going to be that interesting to you guys, so we're just going to speed through these. Growth for all provinces. Oh boy. Wee! Public order +5 all provinces is actually pretty good. Then we get the Colossadon Hunters, which actually seem to be not that bad. They do have an incredibly good bonus against large, I believe. These guys might actually be pretty solid for anti-large purposes. But considering that you have access to like Carnos and shit like that, not sure how useful this stuff is going to be. Okay, so that was the Ripperdactyls, the Umbral Tide, which is a Salamander hunting pack with perfect vigor. It is a lot of charge and attack bonus, Rubio, but they're really squishy, it looks like. Really, really squishy. Okay. Untainted in all regions, which is alright. And you get the recruitment for all units, which is okay. You get a powerful, unique red-crested skink. I'd actually be curious to see how he's going to be doing. We get the Star Chamber Guardians, which are Temple Guard. And we get the Thunderous one, which is an Ancient Stag. Kind of interested to see how this is going to work with the Judgment spells. You need to complete the different prophecies of Sotek in order to finish the tiers. And then, of course, you get the Great Sacrifice of Sotek, which is a giant-ass fucking serpent. Okay. I want to say that is basically it. His victory conditions are garbage, as to be expected for any Lizardman faction, by the way. Hi, DK. The short campaign victory is control all of Flustria. Construct 3 Crimson Pyramids, which is whatever. Kill Pestilence, Scryer, Vampire Coast, Dreadfleet, and Blessed Dread. Control 8 settlements. And kill Archeon. How do you get Croak? I don't know. I actually don't know. So yeah, short campaign, by the way. I think they just made lizards this way because they're like, fuck it. Lizards, they're strong. What about Long? Long is basically the same. Sacrificial pit of Sotex. You kill followers of Nagash, own all 17, and then kill Archeon. So basically the same shit as before, except one specific unique building, 2 more pyramids, kill followers of Nagash, which will probably die anyway, and then kill Archeon. So Long story short, I will not be getting a short campaign victory with pretty much any lizardmen ever. Just because this is absurdly long and I never know why. At least on the bright side, though, like, this shit is at least local. You know, you do want to control all of Lustria. That's fine. Whatever. You know, eventually. But the other shit is just like, why? Like, why? New technology? Oh, good point. Good point. New tech doesn't really appear to be a whole lot. It seems like it's all just kind of filled in there at different spots. I've already looked at all the skink shit, which didn't really change. Let's see. Tablet of Beasts. Speed for salamanders and pterodons. Woo. Ammunition for pterodons. Woo. Cold 1 bonuses. Cold 1 bonuses. Bastillodons, which is the same. Charge bonus for Carnos and Stags is the same. And then upkeep for all monsters, which just, you know, doesn't really change anything. That's what I'm feeling, Lemur Lord. After Lustria, like, after you've completed Lustria, that's the hard part. Saurus doesn't look like they got any changes. Ammunition, weapon strength, upkeep for skinks, melee defense, and then Crocs buffs. Those are all the same. Tablet of Crafts doesn't look like it's changed at all. Sequence of Geological Prospecting hasn't changed at all, which is nice. Monuments seems to be the same. This technology might actually be important now. Tablet of Order, Diplomatic Relations, Untainted, Hero Success, Untainted. Yep, that's all the same. Post-battle loot, leadership, campaign range, metric item, looting and sacking. Yeah, that's all the same. That's all the same. That's all the same. Yeah, so it all looks like it's all essentially the same. This technology is actually decent now because it buffs a lot of different things. So no tech for Ancient Salamanders? Not specifically, no. Recruit rank. Yeah, so it's like for Ancient Salamanders you get like bonus recruit and upkeep. And that appears to be it. And then for Salamanders, you get more speed.
Yeah.
So technology as a whole has not really changed for lizards at all. I think these all should be the same. Yeah, these all look to be about the same. So that is that. And of course we're on here. Interesting thing to start to talk about though is that Spinozotek dwarves are back. Those of you who have been playing Mortal Empires for the longest time, there you go. They're back. So hey, neato. No problem, Sable Flag. I'll be around for a little while. Yeah, the Rite of Sotek looks different. I've already covered the rites earlier. The Rite of Sotek looks like spamming. They've always been there? No, they've always been on Vortex. They've not been here otherwise, though. On Vortex, the Spinozotek dwarves exist. On Mortal Empires, they do not. Until now. They're back. Okay. And that is that. And of course, you can see the Talaxians are now controlled by a skink, which is kind of funny. And then Itza. What used to be there? Nothing. It was just ruins. Just ruins. All right, so I imagine a lot of you are here to look at the Skaven shit, so let's take a look at the Skaven shit. And then we'll talk about the other minor things that came.
I fight for the greater good.
You get Claw with Clan Scryer. He does have access to the Forbidden Workshop, which is cool. He does get a bonus research rate. He gets loyalty and construction costs for engineering buildings. He gives a lot of really good shit. He starts with 1 Doom Rocket. He has upkeep for Jezzail's Ratlings and Warpfire Throwers, and of course recruit rank for all of them. He does start with some Doom Flayers, some Ratling Gunners, and Jezzails. Yeah, he honestly, like, if I wasn't such a big Lizardman fan, Ikit Claw would definitely be the one to play. Ikit's got some really cool stuff. He's got some really cool stuff. So let's talk about them for a minute. Plus, I gotta say that Jezzails are gonna be so much more important for the Skaven than what Lizardmen are getting. I have no idea why Tic-Tac-Toe is not available. I have no idea. I have zero idea. And that's not me lying either. I have no idea.
Supreme Warlock.
I have no idea. All right.
Chief Warlock, Ikit Claw.
Also, first of all, he starts off with 5% physical resistance and bonus armor, which is pretty nice. Anyways, let's look at his shit, shall we? There are a version hitting those dimmies made me laugh out loud. Wait, what? Alethan R was available, but there's no guarantee we'll ever get the early access shit. He starts in Skaven Blight. Part of the issue with Skaven Blight, first of all, Skaven Blight being a 12-stop province, this is for Lizardmen only, though. Is it going to be like trees? Pretty sure nobody else is going to get this many slots. Oh. Alright, so he does get a Doom Flare. He does get a Doom Wheel as well. So if you ever have dreams of a lord riding around Doom Wheels in an all Doom Wheel army, you can finally have not enough Doom Wheels. Finally. Yeah, his missile damage, you have to remember that this is going to be a splash attack. This is 4 shots per volley, that's why. Okay. He does start as a Master of Ruin, which is cool. Of course, he gets his, like I said, Doom Flare, Doom Wheel, Storm Demon. Here you go. Yeah, it's basically a flamethrower. Okay. Power Overlord, 20% cooldown for all spells. Pretty fucking nice. Warp Tech Academy gives loyalty for Warlock Masters and an extra Warlock Engineer. You do get improved Warpstone Detector, which is nice because you're going to need a lot of warp fuel. Okay. Very latest thing, upgrades his Flamethrower. Optimized production gives you faster Doom Flyers, Doom Wheels, and recruit rank for them. Only in the army, though. And then Doomsday Scientist does change his Brass Orb. Brass Orb is basically a vortex spell. It's kind of like the Kraken's Pull, but not. This makes it a stronger Kraken's Pull. Plus more wins. Can't go wrong with that shit. Okay, and then on top of that, he also gets his Power Armor. 8% physical resistance. He gets bonus weapon attack, melee weapon strength. He gets more armor and more magical resistance. He gets a fucking jetpack. Speed and charge bonus. And then 8% bonus health as well. So it's gonna be good when you put him on put him on his Doom Wheel. Bigger health pool. Okay, and then while casting, you get Adrenaline Rush. These are only self buffs while casting. And then the Serum Second Wind gives him replenishment and melee defense. The important thing to note is that these do not lock each other out. These do not lock each other out. So he gets regeneration, bonus melee defense, unbreakable, and 40% armor piercing damage. The difference between him and Tinyuan is that Tinyuan can't access his shit immediately. His base AP 275. Okay. Of course, you do have Master of Ruin. We all know the important one, though, of Word Lightning. Pack Leader, nothing's changed. Infiltrators, nothing changed. Blastmaster is ammunition for warp fire throwers, rattling guns, Giselles, Globadiers, and Death Globadiers. So, ammunition, reload reduction, very, very nice. Respected and feared, which doesn't change anything. Molder knowledge, which doesn't change anything. Then, of course, engineering skill. Ammunition, reload reduction, armor, charge bonus, etc. Okay. We do get rally. I believe it's Warp Smart. Bonus against infantry, missile damage, magic resistance, leadership. Basically all the same shit as before. Okay. Let us talk about the Forbidden Workshop.
Oh, yeah.
As the main power source of the Forbidden Workshop.
Shut up. So, we start out with 5 warp fuel, and then food, which means we can go ahead and get all this shit. Any cocaine waffles as DLC? I fucking wish, nerd. Fucking wish. So this shit's going to be kind of long-winded because there's a ton of bonuses in here, and not all of them are specific to the units, which is kind of interesting. So please bear in mind. So there's going to be a couple of things. I'm not exactly sure how this upgrade things work. Oh, here you go. So level 1, kill 1,000 units in battle. This is just like Tenuan shit. You get the Warpstone Tracker Beam, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then you use a Doom Rocket in battle. You get free money. You get a nuke. Of course, you can't see the rest of this, but I would assume that this shit is poggers. Like, this shit's going to be really good. Okay. Doom Diagnostics. For all Doom Flayers, get bonus against infantry and charge bonus. Here you go. I am going to play a campaign, Philip. But first, we're going to talk about the DLC first. This is going to be a long stream, boys. But a long stream. We're just talking about details right now. How much to make you play it, please, at first? I mean, it depends on how bad what's his face is anyway. Might end up doing that anyway. Warp flares. All characters on Doomflayer mounts can randomly cast Warp Lightning in melee combat. Obsidian Alloy. Give them weapon strength melee attack. So, melee attack. Bonus against infantry. Bonus 10 melee attack. Charge bonus. Doomflayers are going to hit like a truck. Aero Dynamics. Bonus speed. Micro reactors. Anyone who is on a Doomflayer gets bonus wins. Bio interfaces. Base miscast for anyone on a Doomflayer. They get cheaper Scorch as well. Decomposing alloys. yeah. Give Stalker for characters. Skewer Blades, anyone on a character gives leadership bonuses. Spike Plated Armor, 12% ward save for all Doomflayers, and melee defense for all Doomflayer units. A 12% ward save and melee defense. Okay. And then they get bonus missile resistance as well, and sundered armor. Doomflayers, when fully pimped out, I think are going to be really crazy. Units doesn't include characters. I think that the Doomflayer units includes characters, but there are certain things in here that only count for characters. Basilisk, I've already talked about the Prophet of Sotek. We'll be playing Prophet of Sotek after this. Yep. On top of that, though, as you increase this shit, you also get rare equipment as well. Workshop is only for Ikit. So you get free rare armors and shit. So why not? You know? Why fucking not? Mechanical arm, thundering attacks, you know. Power armor, giving a ward save, weapon strength. A special ROR Doomflayers. These are the ones you can only get. You can only get for him. Why play any other Skaven Lord? Yeah, actually. I kind of agree with that. After seeing the Forbidden Workshop, I was really taken back by how fucking good it's going to be. And we have Doom Wheels.
1.21 gigawarps.
Same shit as before. Speed charge bonus for Doom Wheels. Reload reduction for Doom Wheel units because they do shoot lightning and shit like that. Skaven Slave Grease gives melee defense and Strider. Yeah, these specific ROR that come from the Forbidden Workshop are pretty fucking broken. They're going to be pretty disgusting. Meat shields, more armor and missile resistance for Doom Wheels. Cooldown to Warp Lightning for all characters. Wins cost for Warp Lightning, and Warp Lightning upgraded. So if you really like spamming Warp Lightning, here's a great way to spam Warp Lightning. Superconductors gives bonus against infantry, more so for it's for characters on Doom Wheel mounts. So this one is specifically for Doom Wheels. Oh, I know Elliot's gonna love it. I love it. I don't like Rat Boys that much. I'm gonna love it. Characters on Doom Wheels get armor and magic resist. Double shot ammunition for all Doom Wheel units. Gyrocogs, all Doom Wheels get perfect figure for character mounts. Not all Doom Wheels, but character mount Doom Wheels get perfect figure. Character mount Doom Wheels get perfect figure. Okay. Splendor Prisons, Doom Wheels, and then bonus shit for blah 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 for Doom Wheels. That 4-4 typo because there's Skaven. Fuck if I know. Could be a typo. Maybe not. Who knows? Again, you do get other shit just by locking the stuff up. Can characters be mounted on Doom Wheels? No. Only lords. Causing terror, not a bad thing. Recruitment for Doom Wheels, recruit rank, and minimal duration. So if this is thrown on Ikit, this means that he can recruit Doom Wheels in 1 turn. The Warp Lightning Battery, in case you like Warp Lightning. Yo, dog, I heard you like Warp Lightning, so we put some Warp Lightning in your Warp Lightning so you can Warp Lightning while you Warp Lightning. So combined with the Warp Spark plugs, you just, have one shit. One Lord who's just constantly spamming Warp Lightning. Contaminating attacks? Good question. I think it's discouraged. Should be discouraged. It is just a one-time cost warp fuel and food for these upgrades, yes. No, the armor shred would be sundering attacks. Contaminating effects is leadership penalties. And then you have the Warp Fire Wheel, which is a special ROR Doom Wheel. Which looks like it gets regen. It does get regen. So yeah, special RR Doom Wheel that gets regeneration. Hope everyone's taking notes. Weapon teams.
Equip and murder.
Rattling gunners never run out of ammunition. These in sieges are gonna be pretty fucking dumb. Oh man, rattling gunners and sieges are gonna be so fucking dumb. I'm just gonna go set up a situation where I'm gonna go shoot the fuck out of them with like 4 rattling gunners, and then I'm gonna go AFK, make a sandwich, maybe mow the lawn, go do some shopping really quick, and come back and see what happens. Pretty fucking stupid. On top of that, they get reload reduction. So in case unlimited ammo wasn't enough for you, let's just go ahead and give them reload reduction time as well. And then claw-crafted bullets, more ammunition, and missile damage. Okay. It's true you don't need ammunition if you're shooting, if you're, free ammo like that, but I don't know. Don't look at me, man. The warp fire teams, more missile damage for the warp fire throwers. I think they probably will be the easy faction. Congrats. Maybe it takes some time to generate the ammo. Yeah, but I would imagine once you stop, I mean, it recharges if the ammunition is below 80%, and you can get them out of order, yes. But, I mean, all you have to do is stop shooting for, what, a minute? And most of your ammo is back. So. Might be active one at a time. I don't know. It's going to be something to look at. Hazmat fursuits. It's the first time and only time I hope I ever have to say that word. Fire resistance and bonus armor for warfire throwers. That gives them an incredible amount of armor. And then motorized pumps. This is the same concentrated flame shit that Ikit Claw gets as well. Okay. Then Giselles. Hawk's Precision. I think you can directly select upgrades. It's just locked by what level the workshop is. So as long as there are no enemies within the ability range of 70 yards, they get 15% bonus armor-piercing missile damage. So if you actually are sniping, you get an extra 50% armor-piercing missile damage. The ghillie fursuits, again, words I hope I never have to say again. Missile resistance and stalker. You upgrade the workshop by fulfilling their shit, just like with Tennywan. There's certain tasks. Okay. And then Craven rounds, armor piercing damage, plus 25%, and an extra range. As if Giselles didn't already have incredible fucking range, let's just go ahead and give them an additional 12%. These guys are artillery level shots. Okay. Same thing as before. As you unlock this shit, you get new stuff. Missile damage and flaming attacks, incendiary rounds, sniper's cape. You get the Doombringers, which are warp fire throwers. They're going to be cheap as shit and unbreakable. Also 48 models. I think that's what, double model count? I don't know about Pestilence getting buffed a little bit here, so I'm not sure. Okay, Eye Takers. Again, Giselles. With Blinded. So, you really fucking hate that monstrous unit. Take these Eye Takers. Again, ROR you can only get here. And then Death Dealers. Rattling guns with suppressed. There's your volley time. What's the passive? You talking about Blinded? Or are you talking about this? Hawk's Precision. Okay.
Ickett's rockets are best.
Then Doom Rockets. Then Doom Rockets. Power Plant. Get bonus wins. You get additional storage for 3 Doom Rockets. So in case, 5 wasn't enough for you, in case you want 8, there you go. Toxic Waste Salvage is 100% chance to recover warp fuel after using a Doom Rocket in battle. You get plus 10 casualty replenishment after using a Doom Rocket in battle. Doom Rockets are nukes, yes. You ever played StarCraft 2? Welcome to the Doom Rocket. Have I used one? No, I have not. I have not yet. Although, I would be interested in doing a battle really quick just to fire off a Doom Rocket and then move along. Refined Warpstone. Every chance you build a Doom Rocket, there's a chance you'll get a free one. I'll show it, guys. I'll show it. Give me a second. We'll talk about the other shit first, then we'll use the rocket. I doubt those things are going to happen, Mairdreth. I think CA wants this shit locked behind DLC for a reason. They realize this shit's really good. And then chemical warpads, as if killing everything on site wasn't good enough in the first place, causing a dot as well. There you go. Yeah, Lemur Lord, I haven't talked about Skaven Blight just yet. Now are the new Rat Boys? Rat Boys are fucking disgusting. They're absurd. Okay. Skaven Blight itself. He starts off with the Warpstone Telescope. This is, again, of course, like any other faction or any other lizard faction that, or I'm sorry, any other rat faction that starts the special building that gives food. No, it upgrades. It upgrades to the tractor beam. There's the Warpstone tractor beam. With this one building, you get Gisele's warp fires and rattling gunners. Is Skaven corruption good or bad? The answer is yes. Yep. Tier 3, and you get Gisele's rattling gunners and warp fires. Okay. And then, of course, it also does get the Council of 13. Yes, Skaven Blight is a 12 slot for them. It's a 12 slot for Skaven. It's not going to be a 12 slot for anyone else. It's just like the trees. Like if you go to Athel Loren, you go and take a tree. Those of you who've not seen the Council Chamber of the 13, this is the building. Probably haven't seen it because you've never gotten to it. Not a big deal. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to. And then you have the Shattered Tower. Plus 6 Skaven corruption in all adjacent provinces. Okay, and then it is, of course, a capital. So all kinds of really nice shit. Because it's a capital. So between the Skaven Blight and the main building, you're going to have 23 local corruption minus any other buildings. You get 15 corruption for being a tier 5. And then you get another 13 corruption from the building. That's what, 28 corruption total? And that's before you go and build any other buildings. A full stack for a garrison, how many capitals have that? Most actual capitals do. It has to be a factional capital. If it's not a factional capital, it probably doesn't. Okay. Otherwise, you have the construction cavern for Gisele's rattling gunners and Deathwinds. So Gisele's are a tier 4 unit. Luckily, they don't require any other unit or any other buildings, but there's that. We'll talk about technology after this in a minute. There's your stats for Gisele's. Remember, these are shield breakers, too. Which is pretty important. Yeah, it does look like they've removed the building requirements, which was a good thing. That's an overall buff to Queek, though. Being able to not worry about what your secondary building is, nice. Okay. Doom Flares, tier 4, 4 models. Weapon strength of 95 with a bonus against infantry of 26, the charge bonus of 40. They do get the passive of having more armor. Of having more armor while in melee. So 124 armor while in melee. So they've got shitty melee defense, but that makes them a not bad chariot, especially after all the bonuses. I think if you're going to play Clan Scryer, Doom Flayers can be really good. If you're not playing Clan Scryer, I don't think Doom Flayers are going to be that great. Okay. All your heroes are tier 3 now, which is cool. What was the other one? Oh, Rattling Gunners. Rattling Gunners. No, Basilisk, I've already looked at the campaign buffs for the Lizardmen. I'm pretty disappointed. I haven't talked about Undercities because I'm not actually going to play this campaign. And in order to do that, I have to actually like set up an Undercity. However, I do know from discussion that Undercities are really good. They just get discovered easily. So there's your Rattling Gunners. And their hot charge bonus of 2. Whew. That's like grandma check. Like, you know, old lady walking by. She just kind of like nudges you a little bit. That's basically what a 2 charge bonus is. In the other factions, the same races use the new units. Yeah, everybody, if you own the DLC, everyone can use the units. They just don't get the same bonuses. Exactly, Lockjaw. Exactly. Yeah, they trip and fall and cause two charge bonus. Also on YouTube, you can force all Lizmen, escape and enter war, lock the diplomacy, get a relationship with Lizmen, then you can start at war with their enemies, get more relations, maybe you see confederations. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it. But, why would I just not want to play this? I do honestly want to play, I'd rather play Ikit, but I'm a Lizardman fanboy, and I've been holding off on Lizardman for a very long time because of them. Because of this DLC, so... And then you get the patrols for seeing your own Under Empire, as if rats had trouble figuring out where the fuck the Under Empire was. We built even deeper tunnels. That's what this is. Okay. That seems to be about everything. There's your corruption. Talked about the Forbidden Workshop already. The technology has changed a little bit. Technology has changed in a couple of things. It's kind of hard to pick all of them. You do get expendable for clan rats, which is nice. So that's important. The coolest part, I think, of this is that, so when we talk about the Under Empire, there is a Vermintide ability where you can raise up an army to go fight that city. Through technology, you get free shit that gets added to that Vermintide. So, for example, if you do decide to go all the way down to recruit rank for Rat Ogres and Hell Pit Abominations, you get Hell Pit Abominations when you go and do the Vermintide. most of it tends to be just extra like rats and stuff, like clan rats and stuff. So like this extra clan rat, just food, local. Oh, this was kind of cool that they put technology on these now. You get an extra clan rat, extra clan rat, extra clan rat. So for the most part, these don't matter too much. This was really cool when you switch to Ultimate Experiments, which is a really good technology anyway. All those clan rats switched to Storm Vermin instead. So eventually, like late game, it's still viable if you want to use the Vermintide ability because you'll switch over to Storm Vermin instead. Like I said, most of the technology hasn't really changed. I did notice that they nerfed one of these included the bonuses for warp or for plague claws. Yeah, where the fuck is Scotty? Actually, I would have thought Scotty'd been lurking around here. Promoted on merit. A lot of these technologies are just little extra stuff for them. It's a little bit harder to notice where the new stuff is because a lot of this tech looks basically the same. It's just kind of like added extra things in there for... Oh, you can get a Doom Wheel for Vermintide Army. Oh, that's true. It is Monday. That's a good point. Plague Claw or Plague Monks, shit like that. So, that is basically that. Rights, I'm pretty sure are all the same. The clan stone is magic resistance, which might actually matter a bit simply because of how much warp lightning you're going to end up spamming. Not the greatest clan stone ever, but whatever. At least cheap. Okay. I think that's a bit... Oh, let's talk about their win conditions first. Win conditions. So if you might notice, we still have the Skaven Corruption. Notice for a moment where we gotta go. Where we gotta go. You don't recognize some of these provinces. Might be because you don't know them by their provinces. We gotta fight wood elves. We're going to the oak, boys. It's a required victory condition for him to go kill wood elves. Okay. And of course, Carcassonne and Bordelot. Who cares? We need to kill Wood Elves, Carcassonne, Bordelot, and Pirates of Tosa. Pretty simple, actually. Control 8, which we're next to like 3 of them. So, also pretty nice. And maintain 60 units in total. This is what a short campaign victory should look like. This is a short campaign victory. Your enemies are here, here, here. And like, what? Here. That's it. Here, 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 and here. That's it. Those are the factions you need to kill. Like, you could potentially win this campaign before you have, like, 25 settlements. Like, quite literally, you could win this before you had 25 settlements. I have no idea why these victory conditions are so much easier. It's an absurdly easy campaign to do. This campaign you could probably bust out in, 120 turns or so. Pretty simple. So, take notes, boys. This is how you do a short victory condition. The long conditions, long is harder. Long is much harder. This is the way it should look, by the way. Short should be simple, bite-sized. Long should be fairly difficult. Grown, Bordelot, Carcassonne, Reichland, Suffbar, Silver Road, Blood River Valley, which I actually don't remember which one that is. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Berwick Far. Western and Eastern Sylvania. This is actually difficult. Destroy Wood Elves, Carcassonne, Bordelot, Pirates of Sartosa, Empire Bretonia, Vampire Counts, and Clan Engrid. This is a long campaign. And then maintain 100 units, because nobody cares about that part. This is the way this shit should look. This is the way things should actually look. Short, simple, bite-sized. You can do this shit in easy, 120, 150 turns. Long, much harder. Much harder, no Archeon shit. Yep, correct. Okay. I want to see a nuke. You guys want to see a nuke?
Annihilate! This arms race, no con.
Show you guys the nuke, and then we'll talk about the changes in Empire. Bunch up your own army and nuke them. Oh, I don't know about all that. Sure, I guess we can nuke our own dudes, because why not? Although it may not actually end up. Oh yeah, nukes absolutely are your own units, Kelvy. Absolutely. It's absurd. I've already seen it on a stream, but I want to see it with my own goddamn eyes. Nukes don't hit the target you always choose all the time? That's interesting. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, yes, I was pretty sure that Karakizor's copper mine was going to be really good for the inevitable Skaven faction that was going to go in Skaven Blight, and they didn't disappoint. They did not disappoint. Yes, DK, the 2080 is installed. You can see their models in game. These are your Rattling Gunners. Jazales. You notice the one in the front is hiding terrifyingly. Rattling Gunners function like rifles. No, Jazales function like rifles. Okay. And the Doomflayers. Now this is pod racing. Okay. All right. Let's nuke some shit, shall we? Die for queen and country, okay? There's your Giselles. See the little... Yeah, the little ramrod in there, you see that? Pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
Glorious warfare.
I'm gonna
Yes.
deploy them close.
Skaven slaves. Pirates. Die, die, die.
No, third paradox, I'm showing off the nuke. I want to get them tighter, but not sure that's going to happen. And that's the nuke.
Retreat, retreat.
Wahoo!
Yes, superior one. Scryers, run. Storm lightning.
As you can see, this is what left.
I smell failure. For the Valentine.
Yep. Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, I'd say so. Well, sir, you only nuked your own units. The lingering radiation only happens if you unlock that, Rubio.
Victory.
All right, we'll take a look at the Under Empire now. Expand this
More
Under
madness
Empire.
here. Suit needs recharge.
Okay. 4 slots? Oh boy, yeah, I haven't seen this shit. All right, so burrows. I guess this is the starting building. Campaign, leadership, casualty replenishment, Skaven corruption, menace below stuff. That all increase. Notice the discovery ability does come up. Oh, that's actually true, Rubio. Yeah, nuke is an easy bloody trait. That's true. What happens if they're discovered? The AI gets the option of destroying them, but I don't think the AI is going to do that shit. Because they appear to be pretty fucking lazy. This is your discoverability, by the way. This little thing here. Once found, it is likely to be demolished, but who knows? Then you have all the way up to Underpass. You get lightning strike abilities, campaign movement, hero success chance, game corruption, income from sacking those settlements.
Like Ickett's devastation. Yes, yes.
Okay. So one of those two. Rattling King and Vermintide. You get the Skaven army upon the completion. This. You get a war declare, and the Undercity building has died. But this is how you get the Vermintide. The Doomsphere is the makeshift worm shock. And that's how you nuke it. Takes total of 16 turns to do that. Okay. Murder holes. We lose discoverability. This is how you manage discoverability. By always having the
My blade is never
murder holes.
outsmarted. See?
You have deeper tunnels, which also deals with your discoverability as well. Okay. The Scavenger Raiders gives you food. So up to 4 food, it looks like. Oh no, up to 8 food. As you can get the Scavenger Horde, you get food generated here. And then you can also get the raiding camp as well, which also gives more food as well. Undercity is for all factions. I don't know. Congrats. That might be a bug. I have no idea. Okay. You do get it without the DLC, yes. The Under Empire is free no matter what. Everything else with Ikit Claw we talked about is different. But the Under Empire is for all factions now. You get a ridiculous amount of food. This is 8 food. If you build both of these buildings, that's 8 food. So honestly, if you want just a couple Under Empire cities, you can honestly just build these 2 food buildings and then build the discoverability. And that counters a lot of that discoverability. Yeah, I saw his damage, yeah. Why would you ever want Under Empire? Why would you not want Under Empire?
Skavenblight revels in this victory.
Warp token stash, income generated, a little extra food lost. And then you can gain income. The Rat Kid Mafia. You cannot build Under Empires in your own cities, no. Okay. And then you have a 10%. So here's where you come in. This is where making an Under Empire is good. Because you can build mine shafts and get a 10% chance to expand the Under Empire to adjacent regions. So all it takes is landing somewhere, adding an Under Empire, and then just popping these babies in those cities and going to town. That's why it's important to end up getting this shit. Okay. Warpstone Refinery. 10% every turn. That's 10% every turn, yes. 10% chance per turn to expand the Under Empire. Okay. Upkeep, a little extra research rate, all that good shit. I have no idea, Raven. And then a subterranean strip mine. So this is why you would want to build the Under Empire cities, because you have the ability to then expand it elsewhere. Okay. Those are all your cities. Obviously, a lot of love was put into this. And food. So in theory, you could always have capped out food. You could start, an Under Empire somewhere, and then just slowly have that expand and slowly take over the food and shit too. Because in theory, you could generate 8 food per turn now. So there is the Under Empire. Skaven got a ton of really nice tools this expansion or this DLC. Can you have these in Skaven places? Yes, you can. It just seems like this is probably a percentile chance, I would guess. Is it when it hits 100% or when it hits 100? That's just my guess. But I don't actually know. I haven't fucked around with this at all. There you go. 100% auto discover. All right. I think that's it.
Claw has no equal.
I think that's it. I mean, I kind of agree, Rubio, but whatever. Whatever. All right. Let's talk about the Empire. Something I wanted to talk to you about, guys, for a while now that I'm super stoked for, and I haven't been able to show you. If anybody has seen the Reddit and seen where they were comparing maps and shit like that, and were like, I think there's new settlements. They are correct. There are new settlements in the Empire. So I started a campaign just to walk through territory, just to take a look at things. I don't know if Empire has received any actual changes. That we'll have to kind of wait until the patch notes. But I can go ahead and show you that shit. Who cares? So I started as Vlad, walked down. So you can see there are 2 new settlements in the Ostermark settlements, including Mordheim. I have no idea if Mordheim is unfinished, but I would guess that at some point Mordheim is going to get special buildings. Currently, they don't have anything, and they are empty. But at some point, there's a very strong possibility that that will change. Warhammer 3, or it could just come with the Empire update. Then you also see Nagenhof here. So now you've got up here, and then you've got 3 cities here. And then the same thing is true over here in Tepelclan. You get Kappelberg now and Krugenheim as well. So Kappelberg is here. Krugenheim is right here. Will AI VC be even more powerful? Or retrospectively, you could look at it as AI Empire is becoming even more powerful. As it could just mean that they get confederated and Empire gets a bunch of free territory. Now, that is not to say that they're done. They've added this shit now. And like I said, Mordheim doesn't have anything right now. Can you explore the ruins of Mordheim? I already have. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's just a lizardman thingy. So there isn't actually anything special there at all. Yes, Bretonian updates are in my early access, yes. So these changes are to Empire. Obviously, Mordheim, for those of you not aware, Mordheim is kind of a big fucking deal. So there's a good chance we're going to get something special at Mordheim. Hopefully that means that the vampires get a special thing, that the Skaven get a special thing. Hard to see. But this is a very strong indication that the next update is going to be Empire. What is Mordheim? Mordheim is an Empire city that gets like a warp rock, or it gets a warpstone comet to land on it, I think is what it is. And there's a shit ton of warpstone in there. They eventually end up raising it. There's an entire game dedicated to this, as well as a tabletop battle as well. So But seeing as how this has been added, this seems like a strong indication that Empire is getting some changes. There are no Skaven in it. No, I've already explored it. There's nothing in the city right now. Yes, the Warpstone comet crashed there. Okay. And Mordheim has been added to the game. I can colonize it if I want. I just chose not to. You can colonize it. I just wanted to move through here. As you can see, Vlad's been suffering some attrition just to get through here. Just to show you all the things. Because I walked from here all the way through here just to show that shit. Oh. No, Mordheim currently has no unique building. That is not to say this is a... Remember that this is a press release. So, the actual live patch might be changed. Did Everland get more? No, I don't think so. Pretty sure they haven't. Pretty sure Everland's just down the 2 settlements. Because there's just the army that's here. It does not have local corruption. No. The only corruption is because of me. Vampiric corruption. There's no Skaven corruption. Northwestern Lustria? That's possible. I'm not actually sure. Patch notes are not out. No. So, that is what we're getting. So, I can show you this shit immediately. This is a very strong, like I said, a very strong reason to believe that we're going to get an Empire update next. I mean, why else would they add 4 more cities in this generalized area? They didn't plan on doing anything with it. Okay. I looked at the rest, like things like Gorsel are all still pretty massive. So, those are the updates, Empire. And Bretonia. Let's talk about Bretonia really quick. I know, right, Nerd Rage? Kappa.
I fight for the greater good.
Here we are.
Protector of the realm.
Talk about Burlo for a second. I know, right, Ned? The downloadable content is tic-tac-toe. The reason why not a lot of people are looking at Bretonia is because the Bretonia's changes are not immediately understandable.
Hail, Alberic, Duke of Bot. My
The main thing to talk about, though, is the fact that Mastiff Orcal exists now. Remember all those times when you'd get greenskin incursions playing as the Fae or playing as Alberic, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? How am I supposed to go and kill beasts or kill greenskins in order to stop greenskin incursions?" Well, boys, now you have a settlement. Furthermore, they don't really have much of an army. Are Bretonian garrisons actually good now? I don't really think so. Two more amber for what else? Yeah. That's actually kind of true. 2 more amber for what else? Yeah, that's kind of true. So that is the first, like, biggest change. As for the actual garrison update, you can see they get like foot squires and shit now. They did finally give their fucking men-at-arms and spearmen shields, for the love of God. It took them forever. I've talked about this shit forever. But they do get 2 foot squires. They're like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. They finally got shields. Finally got some foot squires. They lost as many cav as they had previously. I actually didn't look at the Bretonnian garrison building. Oh, this is new.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the follow. This is new. I hadn't actually seen this before. The Shrine of Manan. Nice little landmark building for Albric. Makes foot squires tier 3. Check the wine building. Not nerfed. Not nerfed. No, I don't think Elizabeth garrisons have been changed at all. Controls public order. Okay. To the Shrine of Manan. There's a shit ton of wine. Why change it? That's just how it always has been. Rip Bordelot rush his empire? I don't know. I think you could still do it. It's going to be harder for sure. I think it's still possible. Then you have the garrisons. Foot squires, spearmen at arms, and peasant bowmen. So it seems like Bretonnian garrisons have a lot less cav. Which is nice. That includes Aquitaine. Same thing. Foot squires, peasant, spearmen at arms, peasant bowmen. The torch building is for the Skaven Empire. I'll talk about that in a second. But the garrisons just seem to be a lot more infantry heavy. A lot more infantry heavy. They changed the armory. There you go. So now it looks like Bretonnian units don't need any kind of requirements in order to build stuff. +2 armor for all units for all armies. Not bad. Not bad. +10 melee defense for all units while defending. Yeah, I know, right, Rubio? It does stack per settlement. You can only stack this armory in provincial capitals, though. Only in provincial capitals, though. That's a little Japega, yeah, Rubio. Little Japega. The Grail building does look like it does give Grail Knight still, yes. All these look unchanged. The Night Watch is the discoverability of Skaven Undercities. Pretty much, I think every faction gets gets things like Night Watches. Just a way to deal with Skaven Undercities. Notice it takes 8 turns to finish this shit. That is reload reduction, yes. While under siege. It looks like it's just per city, be my guess. Looks like it's per city. The other lizard factions get their RR regularly. This is construction costs for all buildings in all regions in this province, not global. Hey, Crimson. Okay. I'm pretty sure that the farms increase their money. I don't remember them being 600 income. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anybody remember? Been a long time since I played Bretonia. Long time. Has it always been 600? Hey, Shuda. So on top of that, you also then still get the water mill as well. Remember that local region is only local region. It is not a province thing. But this does mean that each field is worth 900 gold. I haven't looked at the trident yet, except I think it's just a model. I don't think it has anything to do with this actual trident. Okay. So it looks like Bretonian cash is going to be a lot easier now. You, of course, still have industry and all that good shit if you want that. Same shit before with the brothel. The apothecary. Okay.
My strength and wisdom are yours.
The trident. Pretty sure the trident's the same. It's just a new model. I'll look at the tech in a second. Do you always have a hippo? Also, a long time since I played Alberic. He had a hippogriff, right? I never fucking remember. They have a unique one. Ah, they just give him a name. Okay. All right. I did notice that he gets the Blessing of the Lady. I don't remember him having this before. Lionhearted, Champions of Bordeaux, with Squire buffs, etc., etc., his own personal line. The vow system I wasn't actually able to look at. Oh, here we go. Now I can.
Those who serve Bretonia can swear themselves to...
Interesting. Okay. So, Knight's Vow is the recruitment. Untainted. Okay. If you campaign, you got to win a battle in desert or jungle, win a battle at sea, or defeat a beastman, greenskin, or dark elf legendary lord. And for that, you get the questing vow. It gets 10% movement range and upkeep reduction for questing knights. Oh boy. Okay, and then of course the Grail Vow is locked because I can't actually complete it until, later on. Then you get reduction for all this shit. Gives them immortality, perfect vigor, upkeep reduction. You do all three? Yeah, I mean you could always do all three, guys. All three was always something that was before. You get that on Lady? I don't know. Good question. You only take one vow at a time? No. I wonder how much upkeep greatly is reduction. You have to remember that this is shit Bretonia always had, guys. They've just redone the vow system to make it more interesting. You have to remember that the old vow system was just locked in their skill tree. I have no idea, Kindfed. All I know is that at tier 5 you can get Green Knight permanently. Or not permanently, but you can always be summoning him. Yeah, heroes can take vows now, yes. Instead of being able to start with level 10 Lords recruit an army late game, now you have to level Lords just to have an army. It is a little different, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It is a little bit different in that regard, Rubio. They didn't add new stuff? They've changed a few things. Actually, let me look at
True Knight of Bretonia.
the Paladin's vows. Okay, so here's your paladin's vows. So this is your hero vows. Duty is 5 agent actions present in 5 region when a building completes construction. Okay. And then rank up 5 times after taking the pledge. Okay, that's not too bad. I can fully play right now. And then you get +5 armor, +5 leadership. Whee! Questing vow gives them 5 melee defense, 5 melee attack. And Grail vow gives them perfect figure. So it's kind of nice for the paladins. It's kind of cool. Yeah, Leon the Curse still starts with all 4 or all 3. No, you only complete 1. You don't need to complete all of them, as far as I know. Furthermore, technology, you can see the things are a little bit different. The most important part here is, by the way, is the fact that now we can get diplomatic bonuses with factions. You don't have to pick this shit anymore. Because this was, by the way, part of the reason why everyone is always fucked, or why the AI is always getting fucked. You can now get diplomacy with all factions too. About time. You see the Grail vows? I would need to look at the Fae. Notice you do get the public relations and shit like that, and the chivalry and things. I'll look at the Fae after this. I'll look at the Fae. We'll see. And then you do get the bonus diplomacy as well. I know, Shuda. Soon. Okay. Them reworking this technology still kind of makes me think that this is going to be a throwaway technology at some point. Otherwise, they just added ICs for Vampire Coast. Okay. Like I said, all the diplomacy and shit like that, which is really cool. So no more public order or no more great power shit. I don't think any of these texts changed, but I don't actually know. I don't think so, though. I didn't notice anything immediate that seemed to be like, oh shit, what the fuck? All the shit seems to be all the stuff that they've had. Yeah, I think all this shit is the same. The Vampire Coast tech isn't new? Well, damn, it's been a really long time. There was one other thing I was going to show. Oh. The Bretts are all friendly to each other. Bretonians all have affinity with each other now. No more like random ass declaring of wars and shit like that. Pretty much get defensive alliances and shit immediately at factions.
I see you are true of heart, noble knight. What do you require? Anon.
Look at that.
Welcome to fair Britain.
Yes.
The lady grants you safe passage in these lands.
Agreed.
Do you the laws of
Not
chivalry?
you.
Welcome to fair Britonia. Now is it done?
Those who
You tread upon Bretonian land. I approve.
Boom. Just like that. Just like that. Add to that the fact, now, I don't know what the Confederation shit is when you do complete the unification and stuff like that. Who is that in Albion? Nobody's in Albion as far as I know. Whole lot of nobody.
Ooh, that was kind of nice.
Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Rubio. Thank you for the $50, man. Fucking love you, man. Thank you, dude. As a Norse faction, yes. Appreciate it a ton, dude. What else was there I was going to show? Tier 5. At Tier 5, by the way, Tier 5 Chivalry, you always end up getting Lord Recruit leadership Everyone gets a questing vow automatically. You can get the Green Knight always. Thank you, Rubio. Warcraft 2 gift? Hell yeah, it is. What do you think the bit sound is? Bit sound is fucking bloodlust, baby. The new model.
Lord and hero.
Here's this Trident model, boys. Go ahead. Jizz away. Jizz away. Is what you've been waiting for like 3 years. There's the Trident. Aquaman. There you go. There's your shit. As far as I know, Lords, are still no supply lines. Yep, there's still no supply lines, so perfect. Also,
Guardian.
in recruiting units, you notice that peasant mobs, oh thank God, are free in upkeep. So if you want a
If the
fuck ton
lady
of
wills
peasants, great. But they still count. They still count.
Oh yeah.
So free peasant mobs doesn't matter because they're shit units and they count towards the limit. Thank you for the 100 biddies, Scope. There's your bloodlust. Now they reworked Bretonia too. I mean, you want to give them 100 armor over the course of an entire campaign? Sure, over the course of an entire campaign, yeah. If you don't get bored as fuck by that point, I'm sure somebody's gonna do it. But if you want to get bored as fuck doing it, then knock yourselves out, kids. I mean, you can give them 100 armor, but that doesn't change their leadership being crap. Bretonian World Conquest. Oh man. So yeah, so there's that. Let me check the Fae really quick, and then so we're gonna do. I think that is all the changes that I am aware of at the moment. The Smith is tier 4, yes. The Smith is tier 4. Let me check the lady really quick, see the bow. I wanted to start as Alberic because Alberic can see the greenskins immediately. Peasants in full plate armor, yeah. There's nothing really new near Nagash. They did add some settlements down south with tic-tac-toe, but they're not a whole lot. Yeah, Luan has all 3 vows automatically unlocked.
Ooh, that was kind of nice.
Not about to be
Blessings
upstaged
on
by
you,
Rubio of all people.
Thank you, Teddy Bear, for the $51 and for upstaging Rubio. I appreciate it, dude.
Need of your strength.
Thank you, dude.
Dark clouds are brewing abroad.
Yeah,
My
take that,
lord,
Rubio.
the Ju-
You seek the lady?
Oh. It seems like there are different vows for the ladies. Although it looks like it's the same. Winds of Magic is new for them. Oh, well, yeah, we'll give the ladies perfect figure. Perfect. We'll go ahead and give the prophetesses perfect figure. Great idea. Yeah, it's different pictures, but it doesn't really change. Doesn't really change much. Research 5 technologies while leading an army. Be present in 5 regions when a building completes construction. And rank up 5 times after taking the pledge. So, seems like it's basically the same stuff. It's just, allows you to have the vows Still for the ladies and stuff. They are fancy words, yes. They are fancy words. Yeah, she's always floating. Okay. So yeah, so they change as well. And yeah, she's always floaty floaty. There's a new item apparently. Where would this item be? Because she's always had Chalice. Yeah, I don't see any new items. No third hero for Bretonians? Nope. Do you have a starting ability?
You seek
She has the winds. So she has Favor of the Fae, Blessing of the Lady always, the Mist of the Lady, which is the Mortis Engine effect, and spells. Hey, Banana Renner. Thank you for the 4 months, man. I'm not sure where that alert didn't pop. Probably for the weird text. But thank you for the 4 months, man. Yeah, you might get those items from completing the vow battles, but but I don't know. This is something I'm gonna play a Bretonian campaign after the rats and lizards. Okay. Any other questions of an informative nature? What I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily end the stream for VOD purposes so that I can highlight this, add this to YouTube, all that good shit, reactions, etc., etc., etc. And then we're going to start right into Sotek. Cult of Sotek. So for those of you who are just lurking out there, see a lot of new faces out there. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for checking in, seeing what's up. Check Luan. I mean, Luan. All right, we'll double check Luan just to make sure.
I fight for the greater good.
We'll check Luan very, very quickly.
Strength and honor.
Why are the Sotek lizards yellow, and how does that make you feel? Doesn't make me feel like anything.
Oh,
Greensoon's getting love. Not that I can tell. Not that I can tell. Although that is a good point. I would actually like to check out the Savage Orc garrisons really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for the follows.
Greetings to you, my lord, the Dukes of Bretonia.
Shut up. All right, so Luan's vows.
Lady's favor.
You can see he's already completed all his shit. The Luan has perfect figure now, always. Yes, I've already shown Tepiclin. So, he does get perfect figure, which is cool. I mean, we're gonna find out how bad Teclis is fucked by playing our own campaign. So there's Luan. Nothing's changed as far as the known for own.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure. Let me double check really quick and see greenskins. More specifically, Warzag.
Heir of an
I, as my mystic powers.
Because Warzag did have garrisons that weren't working, or like they have less units than they really should. So I'm kind of curious to see. No problem, dude.
Ooh, that was kind of nice.
Salamander, hypey, my body is ready.
To Ekron.
Thank you, Buke, for the $3. Okay, so it does not look like the greenskin garrisons are any better. They look like they're all pretty shit still. Because this should still not be... We shouldn't have this few units, I feel like. Yeah, the first garrison building is an extra 4 units. Yeah, so it doesn't look like they fixed they fixed the Savage Orc garrisons at all. Yeah, Tech All still looks like it's the same bullshit. Yeah, so it's 18 total after it's all up and done. But I mean, at tier 4 we get 11 units. At tier 3 we get what? 8 units. Tier 3 garrison gets what? 13 units? 13 unit garrison for a tier 3 garrison with a tier 3 building? That's pretty fucking garbage. Let me check for a second. Not that I think that anything's changed, but there's always possibility. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, the greenskins are going to get an overhaul soon, I hope. Check the custom battle for new items. All right. Let's take a really quick look at this. Very, very quick look. Oh, he gets the braid now. I forgot about that. So he gets a braid. So this is for Alberic. Bonus against large for all allies and leadership. Talking about more time, Doomy? Yes. Empire and the new settlements? I've already covered those. I'm doing okay, DK. You really not playing Kit? No. And a minute, Lemur Lord. So, Braided Bordelot. She still just gets Chalice, so no. How'd I get so handsome? Sheer luck, I guess. Same here. Just the sort of Corone. I actually don't have access to Tic-Tac-Toe. Crown of Command, Sword of Anti-Hero, so yeah. So those are the items. Glorious Blade. If he's in the forest, he gets regen. Okay. Does not appear like otherwise we see anything. Prophetesses, good assault stone, yeah. So it looks like Alberic just got something extra. That's all. The Braided Bordelot. Okay. All right, boys. So, like I said, we're gonna temporarily end for just a second. You know, VOD will be back up in like 2 minutes, and we'll start going over the going over Cult of Sotek. So it has been a nice 2.5 hours covering all the new shit. So if you guys missed something, it's somewhere in the last 2.5 hours. I'll highlight this and add this shit to YouTube. Okay? I would be right back, boys.